want this on the screen. I just peeped out. Yeah, this is crazy. Alright. Just make sure my audio going through. Damn. I didn't even mean to join that. The fuck? All right. Let's see. Yo. Testing the audio. All right, sound good. Ish. All right. Let me see. Camera fake dirty. If it ain't one thing, it's some motherfucking next. It's gonna be a short live. I should have put that in the title. Should have put that shit in the title. Oh, I can change it while I'm live. That's hard. Alright. Alright. Let me see. Internet fake bad right now. I'm gonna get this over with. Alright. Alright. Where's the stickers? Alright, so for those of you that do not know, TikTok is essentially getting banned for, like, in my opinion, they're saying it's getting banned for, like, an invasion of privacy and all of that other nonsense. But to me, I think that what the real issue is the fact that they have access to information that America doesn't. The same thing that TikTok does, if I'm not mistaken, is the same thing that Google does, the same thing that YouTube does, the same thing that Facebook does, the same thing that Twitter does, the same thing that Reddit and all these other places does. But when you think about the CEOs and the people that own those companies, they're all American based, and they all have willingly decided to share their info, right? We saw what happened with Telegram, where Telegram was like, yo, I don't want to share these people info. It's supposed to be a discrete platform. And we seen what happened with that when he wasn't trying to basically be obedient to what they wanted. They was willing. You seen how he all of a sudden started getting arrested left and right. He couldn't travel to other countries. They threatened to shut his app down as well. So he ended up, saying, hey, y'all can have these people information, blah, blah, blah. But I think TikTok is different because TikTok is obviously way bigger than Telegram. But not only that, TikTok has said multiple times, hey, we're not buying into y'all shit. We're not going to sell our company. I want to watch someone else give their quick thoughts and opinions on it to see if I have anything else to say. Let's see. Matter of fact, that's going to be a clip in itself. And then, alright. I'm pretty sure Penguin spoke on it. There's certain people that I know that I can go to regarding certain things if I want to hear another opinion on it. TikTok might actually get banned this time. So it seems like he's a bit behind. But yeah, TikTok is finally... Supposedly the ban is getting finalized within the next few hours.
So I need a degree for a job I've been doing for 10 years.
Yep.
Oh, this is way too loud.
TikTok being banned is a headline that floats around annually. It comes once a year like Santa Claus and spreads like the common cold, with people thinking this is really the time it's going to be banned, and then never does. However, This time around, it's a different kind of ball game. This rodeo's looking a little bit different. All signs are pointing towards TikTok being an extinct dinosaur at the end of next week. TikTok rep has even said that they're preparing for a US shutdown on Sunday, which once again proves I am terrible at predictions. Baba Vanga is frowning. I have been very vocal with my naysaying and bah humbugging, saying that people are blowing this out of proportion. TikTok's not actually going to get banned. Because we've been through this song and dance so many times, I just didn't put any water into this being the one where it's really going to just vanish.
I knew it was eventually going to vanish because it was a problem that was bigger than the president's. Like, people kept saying, oh my gosh, Joe Biden's going to fix it. Oh my gosh, Trump's going to fix it. I'm like, no, this is like a global issue thing. TikTok has gotten banned in multiple countries. Not only that, supposedly it's been leaking people's info in multiple countries. It's been, you know what I'm saying? India. Yeah, 1.3 billion. And then if we type in US, I guess I gotta fully type it in. Or maybe it doesn't know what the US is. United States. Yeah, it's still not giving me a direct answer. But I'm pretty sure it's like 300 million, some shit like that. Yeah, so India's like 5 times the size of us. The moment I seen it was banned in India, I was like, I ain't gonna lie, that motherfucker might really be getting banned. Because you gotta think about it, right? If I'm let's just say I'm a clothing brand, whatever I am. TikToker, YouTuber, rapper, soccer player, whatever it is. If there's like damn near 5 times the amount of people in one country over the other, I'm probably going to go to other said country because it's more likely that I'll grow a bigger fan base there. You know what I'm saying? So the moment I seen it got banned in India, I was like, ugh, it's not looking too good.
Just be flopping my veiny cock on people's chins about it, saying,
how did we get from there to there? What did I...
being the one where it's really going to just vanish. I just be flopping my veiny cock on people's chins about it, saying, you gotta wake up, it's not happening, and then, well, January 19th at the latest, it looks like we'll be living in a post-TikTok society.
Yeah, so, like I said, this video's a bit dated, but if you go on TikTok right now, or you even go to CapCut, damn, I don't have my phone near me that has CapCut. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull up a screenshot of what happens if you try to go to TikTok with CapCut right now. Damn, I really... Where's my other phone? Damn. All right. All right. Let me just show this real quick. All right. So this is what happens. Essentially, it gives you a warning. It's like, hey, this app will be gone. It will be deleted. It will be gone. It will be removed January 19th. So all my projects that I have on CapCut, thankfully it's not much, but it's still a decent amount. Let me see. I have like 3 to 4 projects on CapCut. They're not heavily edited. It'll probably take me like 5 minutes, 10 minutes max to do each of the edits on each video. But it's still like, damn. Thankfully, last week I had a bunch of heavily edited videos on there. I would have been mad if I knew that shit. Because I'm now finding out that TikTok, CapCut, and Lemonade are all going to be deleted. All going to be gone. All of them.
What that looks like is anyone's best guess. There could be mangled corpses in the streets, buildings on fire as former TikTok stars start cranking JoJo Siwa dances and IHOPs and posting the videos desperately to Instagram Reels. Who knows? I'll go ahead and tell you where I stand.
Yeah, I think that's 100% of a fact. They're all going to migrate to Instagram Reels. I think Instagram Reels is going to be second, YouTube's going to be first. I could be wrong. It could be the other way around. But they're both of the content creators are going to migrate to those 2 apps, first off. Second off, the bigger creators, I say this all the time. If you're a bigger creator, you're an up-and-coming creator, I say this all the time. It is smart to not be loyal to one platform. These platforms are not loyal to you. They're not loyal to you. They will kick you off. They will delete. They will be gone. Look with Vine. And now look at TikTok. This is why you should be posting your content everywhere or trying to build a following everywhere. Posting your content everywhere might not get you the same results.
And I stand pretty tall, 5'6". It's a topic that's been pretty tricky for me. I've been pretty conflicted. Not a TikTok enthusiast. I think TikTok has been a net negative for its users, and I think there is very real data and evidence to suggest that it has had a very harmful effect on people's ability to focus. That being said, I think it has also been an invaluable tool for small companies as well as individuals to make a career out of basically nothing. An example that I use from time to time is someone like Queso, who I think is probably one of my favorite content creators on the internet in general right now, and TikTok is what really helped elevate him and put him in the public.
See, those are the people that I feel bad about. Or let me not say feel bad about, because Queso at this point, in my opinion, is a multimillionaire at this point. He has millions of followers on every platform. Let me not do this on this tab. Let me just open a new tab. But Queso at this point, I'm pretty sure he's on YouTube, he's on Instagram, he's on all of these platforms, and he's a huge content creator at this point. If I'm not mistaken, he should have millions upon millions on every platform. Like, from what I've seen, I'm pretty sure he's blown the fuck up. I said case of. Yeah, but that's how big he is. You type in his name wrong and Queso will still pop up. He has 7 million followers. I never watched his streams. I recently heard about him from some girl I know. She was telling me about him. But I keep on hearing good things come from this creator right here. From like OG YouTubers. Penguins, Charlie, whatever you want to call him. Jacksepticeye. I keep hearing a lot of great things about him. Yeah, so he has millions. I'm pretty sure we go to his Instagram, it's the same shit. He's pretty smart with it. You wouldn't just back up one profile. Yeah, so. Oh, wait, he posted this? That's interesting. You don't really see too many bigger content creators that'll post like shorts and stuff like that on their Instagram. I wonder why didn't he just make another Instagram for that, like Queso Reels or Queso Shorts or Queso Vertical or some shit. But yeah, he's Gucci. I'm pretty sure we could pull up any one of these. Did he have a third channel? Thanks for checking out my second channel, blah blah. I could have sworn he had a third channel. Like, when I did look him up, it was a completely different channel. Maybe it was a fan channel, but even that one was doing numbers. So Queso will be, people like Queso will be fine. But I do feel bad for future content creators and whatnot that are like trying to use better at this music shit. Oh shit, we gotta actually edit our YouTube videos and not just put them into shorts, knowing that they'll get views and whatnot on TikTok. We gotta actually put in a bit more effort, because content creation and music in general, it's like so much stuff being put out there. A lot of it is slop. It's not people genuinely trying. It's not people, you know what I'm saying, putting their best foot forward or even trying. Like,
their success to being able to promote through TikTok. So there's a lot of good that has come from it, as well as like getting information out about very important things going on in the world. So there is value there. Overall, though, I can't help but feel that on the whole.
All right, this is my last time talking about this. After this, I'll go to some poppy playtime theories. But what I would say is that TikTok, in my opinion, has fucked up a lot of people's attention spans. Like, after TikTok blew up, then YouTube Shorts became a thing. Then Instagram Reels became a thing. Now TikTok has like its own little thing where it's doing, like, TikTok was always the king of that. I said TikTok, Snapchat always had that, but now it's like to a different level. It's kind of like how YouTube Shorts is, IG Reels is, and whatnot. And in my opinion, TikTok just fucked up a lot of people's attention spans more than it already was. But yeah, let's go to anybody that's here. What's up? Right now we're talking about this TikTok ban, Lemonade ban, and CapCut brand. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of upset because I don't know if y'all can see this. Oh yeah, I can't even see it. Where is it? Applications. It's in my flash drive. But yeah, I don't know if y'all can see that, CapCut and whatnot, but that's also getting banned. And thankfully, me personally, I did not have many projects on there, so I'm not super upset. I would have been more upset if this was like 2 weeks ago, because 2 weeks ago I had like 4 full-blown YouTube videos that were like 95% done, and I couldn't imagine getting that news today, because today it's kind of last minute to tell somebody, hey, CapCut is also getting banned. They should have been telling people this. Same thing with Lemonade, but I guess they thought people would figure, hey, TikTok's getting banned, everything else will get banned. But I mean, not everybody knows what's owned by them. But I do want to jump into some poppy playtime theories. Definitely want to jump into some poppy playtime theories. I'll talk about that, the poppy playtime theories, and then I'll get back to more TikTok banning news. Red Note. Also, if any of you have this app, delete it. You can't even see it. Hold on. If any of you have this app over here, delete it. This Red Note app, delete it. Delete it. Am I bugging, or it just made my screen smaller? Oh, nah, I'm bugging. Alright. It's probably game theory, I would imagine, right? Game theory. I think they posted today. It might have been one of their other channels. Oh, yeah, it is game theory. I'm gonna say one of my final theories.
What do you need?
I'm gonna say one of my final theories before we play this. I do think Dr. Sawyer is a evil. I do not think he's some sort of good guy and blah 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 blah. I do think he's some sort of evil. Is he the final evil? I don't know about that. I would be surprised if he wasn't. But I do think Dr. Sawyer is the final evil. Um um I don't know the metal hand thing. What is his name again? Damn. Prototype. The prototype is definitely, I don't know, he seems like a hero from what I get. But Dr. Sawyer definitely a villain. In my opinion, I still think Pianosaurus or Yarnaby, one of the two is going to be on our side. I'm more so leaning towards Pianosaurus for the theories that I said on like 2-3 streams ago. How when you finally get the Yarnaby reveal trailer, you hear like Pianosaurus being played and drowned out. Because it did say we get some new allies. And if we're getting new allies, I would assume that those allies are going to die. We're not going to make it to the end of the game with a bunch of allies. So if anybody would take those allies out, it would be Yarnaby. It would definitely be Yarnaby. Yarnaby is like a fucking, you know, he's like a pet to Dr. Sawyer. So
know before Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. It's been a whole year since the previous chapter, and in the meantime, Mob has done what they do best, giving out more lore than you can shake a mechanical arm at. So don't worry, loyal theorists, because I have played the spin-offs, I watched every trailer, I even read the book. Also, you don't have to. Here is everything you need to know about the Poppy Play timeline.
hold on, is this everything you need to know or a theory? I thought this was a theory.
Hello Internet, welcome to Game Theory, the show that's ready to take its relationship with Poppy to the next level. We got nothing. No new character, no new trailer, not even a release date. That's right, just like Scott was releasing games so fast Matt couldn't keep up, not 5 minutes before our recent theory dropped, Mob Entertainment released a new trailer with a new character and a release date. 5 minutes? Are you kidding me? I'm convinced Poppy wasn't brought to life for lore reasons. It was to troll me for all eternity. I wouldn't be surprised if they did the same thing to us this week. Regardless, because of Mob's ridiculous and seemingly never-ending...
I do think we're getting a trailer very soon though. So it's funny he says that. I think we're getting a trailer very soon.
amount of content leading up to Chapter 4's release, it can be a little tricky to keep up with everything. We've had a book, 2 ARGs, a Roblox spin-off, and over a dozen teasers and videos. But if you're someone that's only played the games, or you just haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then there's been a whole year worth of story that you would have no idea about going into Chapter 4. So today, I'm going to give you all a hand and fill you in from the
I'm curious how much I do and don't know.
with all the important names, dates, and lore Mob has given us, as well as a few theories of our own for good measure, all in one cohesive timeline. Now, this is a big task, so instead of doing this like our usual theories, I wanted to try treating this like our FNAF timeline. It's more story-focused, with references in the bottom corner showing thumbnails, books, titles, basically any citations that I'll be pulling from. I've also got this nifty little traffic light symbol in the top corner to clear things up. Green means what I'm saying are facts that we have physical evidence for, amber means what I'm saying is theory, but it's supported by evidence, and red means it's speculation that makes sense for the story, but we don't have a lot of evidence for. So keep a close eye on your screens, theorists. It's time to analyze the history of this forgotten factory. Just be careful that the screen doesn't stare back. Playtime Co. was founded in the good old US of A in 1930. Quickly, it became one of the most well-renowned toy companies in the world, priding itself in making toys locally instead of overseas like its competitor Mattel. Yes, that Mattel, the ones who made Barbie.
I know exactly where you're going with this, and I have to say, I really resent it.
All of this success was thanks to one man, the founder of Playtime Co., Elliot Ludwig. All he wanted was to bring joy to children, but sadly, that noble goal meant that he spent all of his time at work, neglecting his own family, and his wife had had enough, divorcing him that same year. Nevertheless, Elliot pushed forward, though for 2 decades, he struggled to figure out the key to innovating the toy-making world, until finally he hit a breakthrough. In 1950, Elliot created a toy that would change the world forever, Poppy Playtime.
A little girl can talk to her, Poppy gives her answers. She is the first doll actually able to have a conversation with a child.
Not only that, but her hair also smelled like poppies, which had been used throughout history to help children fall asleep, making her an instant hit with the parents. How did Elliot achieve this incredible feat?
Alright, I didn't know that part.
Well, because Poppy wasn't just a plastic toy. Elliot used organic parts to make her, allowing Poppy to really seem alive. He just needed to add a quick no-refund policy to anyone who tried to fix the Poppy doll themselves, just to keep it under wraps.
To whoever joined, like I said, YouTube do not tell me, so I appreciate it if you comment or text me on my personal socials. But right now I'm just watching this real quick because I'm interested in Poppy Playtime, and then we'll get back to TikTok theories and whatnot after.
Thankfully, no one ever discovers this little secret of Elliot's. But Poppy sales alone can't keep the toy company afloat, so they release a handful of new toys like Bron the Dinosaur in 1961 or Boxy Boo in 1966, though none of them really compare to Poppy in terms of popularity. But then, out of nowhere, tragedy struck. Since day one, Elliot had been encouraging his employees to adopt, to bring joy to children who had none of their own. And he lived by example, adopting a daughter of his own. Finally, the family that the family man had always wanted, until she passed away before his very eyes. There was nothing he could do to save her. All Elliot could do was take the biological knowledge he had and turn her into another organic Poppy doll, just so he could keep a part of her with.
That's what it sounded like. I started thinking like, wait, she kind of looked like Poppy. Is that? Oh, that's interesting.
Forever, so part of her could live on. Little did he know how successful that experiment would be. Somehow, his daughter's mind managed to survive the process. Naturally, Elliot is shocked by this. His daughter is back,
Oh, I was about to say. Okay, hold on. See, but then me and a lot of other people's theories don't make sense, right? Because if people believe Prototype is him, the dad, and she's supposed to be the daughter, why would she be trying to get rid of his creations and trying to destroy him? Because we all believe that she's on Dr. Sawyer's side. That's what a lot of us are believing. I believe that too. I mean, I think she might just be a middleman of something. I think she might be her own villain. She might be, you know what I'm saying, her own thing, but
inside this doll that he made. He couldn't let her fall out of his grasp again, so he builds a family home inside the factory storage bay and locks her inside a glass case to keep her safe. He even adds a passage leading directly to his office so he can visit her whenever he or she wants. With his family now returned to him, his passion to strive for innovation was restored.
But with so much ambition, he rose back up and continued to fulfill his vision for the Playtime Co. toy factory.
The first thing he needed was more people like him. Smart, capable people that could help him continue to innovate and answer the toughest questions the world had to offer. Like, say, how was a child able to live on inside a doll, perhaps? But older minds are harder to shape. He needed people who still had some of that childlike wonder, and thus the Young Geniuses program was born. Elliot sent out flyers and posters similar to that of the time period, trying to gather young minds together to turn them into the scientists of the future, stamped with the logo he'd been using for Playtime since the early days. This attracted many young and bright individuals, including a brilliant, albeit slightly cold young man named Harley Sawyer. Harley was a peculiar character. He didn't care for his comrades, he hardly smiled, but one thing he clearly loved was science, and Elliot took a liking to this strange boy. He may not have been normal, but neither was Elliot. He saw part of himself in Harley. This was the kind of kid he could take under his wing, mold into someone who could really shape the future, and maybe even catapult Playtime.
hello? No, I was just going, you asleep? No, I called for a different reason, but I'm live, so I'll just text you. Alright, I love you too.
Into the stratosphere of success. Unfortunately, that didn't quite work out. Harley never lost his distaste for others, and while he continued to pursue innovation, he was just doing so to push the boundaries of what could be done, not to help humanity like Elliot envisioned. That being said, Elliot didn't give up. He kept trying to change Harley's point of view, but no matter how hard he tried, it was no use. Harley could not change. Not here anyway. And so Elliot makes the hard decision to kick Harley out of the program, sending him home to the outside world to be around more people, hoping it will help him to understand why they do what they do. Harley was destroyed by this news. His hero, Elliot Ludwig, was abandoning him. All he could see Elliot as was soft, pathetic, and short-sighted, backstabbing him because he was too much of a genius for Elliot to understand. Though it didn't matter now. He had to do what he was told, and so Harley left the program, disappearing from the halls of Playtime Co. At least for now. Foreshadowing. As the years go by, more and more, Elliot feels like it's not really enough to just encourage his employees to adopt. There are still so many children that need a home, much like his own daughter did. And while the Young Geniuses program was good, by taking on young people so late in their childhoods, even they were already stuck in their ways like Harley was. So in 1976, Elliot announces a new program, Playcare, Playtime's own on-site orphanage, where he can continue to bring joy to children and educate them in the ways they should go, creating a mass of young, brilliant minds that could help lead the world to prosperity. But while all those programs sound good on paper, and they were well received by the public, they were beginning to cost Elliot a lot of money. Poppy was the last big financial success, and that was over 2 decades ago. But he can't keep innovating in the toy world and run these programs on his own. He would need more staff. So he hires people like Stella Graber to run the Playcare, Leif Pierre as head of innovation, Eddie M.N. Ritterman as the head of research, and Jimmy Roth as the chief marketing officer. Their first assignment, figure out how to stop the company from feeling, quote, old-fashioned. With all their powers combined, they try to get the company back on top, starting with the release of brand new toys like Candy Cat in 1979. They continue to release toys into the next decade. They tried Swap-Em-Alls that you could mix and match like Cappy and PJ Pugapilla. They also tried Kick Me Paul for some reason, but nothing could quite match the...
Nah, some of them toys ugly as hell. I know that's probably why they didn't sell well. Some of the toys are scary as shit. What the fuck?
Pugapilla. They also tried Kick Me Paul for some reason.
Nah.
Nothing could quite match the success of Elliot's original Poppy. That was until 1984, when Elliot had another idea. He went to the team, and shortly after, he releases the Blue Boy himself, Huggy Wuggy. Things were looking up. Huggy is such a big hit with the kids, it basically becomes the face of the brand. In the eyes of the public, Poppy was a long-forgotten memory. Long live Huggy! Of course, he has to capitalize off of it.
Yo, to anybody that's watching this, and you in a similar field, I just want to say the business field, you know, you a rapper, nail tech, content creator, musician, whatever you is. What happened to him is 100% normal, is natural to happen. You shouldn't let it keep you down. Everybody got their ups and downs. Not everything's going to be a smash hit. Sometimes it might take you 20 years like it took him. 20 years is crazy, but...
By releasing Huggy's pink counterpart, Kissy Missy, 1 year later. She too is a huge success, just not as big as Huggy, obviously. Playtime Co. is on top of the world at this point. It's almost like they can do no wrong. But sadly, over the next half of the decade, their profits once again decreased. Sure, Huggy was successful, but just like Poppy before, you can't sustain an entire company off of a single toy, even if he has a cute pink girlfriend. They needed something new, and one of them had an idea. What if you create a bunch of toys as part of a set? That way, kids aren't buying just one toy, but several. Enter the Smiling Critters in 1989. Similar to Care Bears or Cabbage Patch Kids, these are small, cuddly toys with big personalities, but each one is unique, and so you would need to collect.
Why do these look like actual toys? Were these actual toys that were sold? Because they said this company was competing with Mattel. Alright, now we got some research to do. Is Playtime Co. a real company? It could be a real company. Oh, it's not. That's interesting.
All for the full experience. This was the...
So do they make these toys in real life based off of the game? Because these just look mad real.
To Care Bears or Cabbage Patch Kids, these are small cuddly toys with big personalities, but each one is unique, and so you would need to collect them all for the full experience. This was the perfect way to increase the dropping sales numbers Playtime was facing. Plus, to really capture the same appeal as Poppy and her poppy-scented hair, these critters would each come with their own unique scents, all with calming effects. Crafty Corn smells like jasmine, Bobby Bear Hug like rose, but would calming be enough? Poppy's hair literally put children to sleep. That's what made her such a hit with the parents in the 50s. They needed these smiling critters to do the same, so they get to work developing one more smiling critter, one with the advertised scent of lavender, a scent associated with sleep, but instead of actually using lavender, they would create a poppy gas that would actively put kids to sleep, just like Poppy did. They put the smoke inside the purple cat and gave him a name that tied into his sleepy powers, Catnap. And just to be on the safe side, Playtime Co. also commissions the creation of a Saturday morning cartoon featuring this new cast of characters, all begging Catnap to help them fall to sleep with his red smoke, showing kids and parents alike that this is just what the toy is meant to do. Initially, everything is going according to plan. Sales for this new line of toys...
Yo, you're not telling me there's no parent that sort. I was like, what the fuck is this?
They are flying off the shelves. Both parents and kids really seem to love these new adorable critters, except for Catnap. After a few weeks, doctors began reporting a rise in children suffering from intense nightmares that all started after they received their Catnap toys. In Playtime's desperation to mimic the sleep-inducing effects that Poppy had, they'd accidentally concocted something that, yes, put children to sleep, but also gave children horrible nightmares. Thankfully for Leith and the team, no connection was ever proven, but they still needed to save face. They recalled all of the Catnap toys, and Catnap was removed from the Smiling Critters lineup entirely. The Smiling Critters disaster put Playtime Co. in a bad spot. If they were going to survive the next decade, something needed to be done and fast. And so, Leith Pierre put his head of innovation status to good use and came up with an unusual but effective plan. He hired a private investigator, Jared Lockhart, to track...
I'm curious to see where the Nightmare Critters come into this, right? Because the Nightmare Critters is like the Smiling Critters, but like just darker alternatives. Let me see if I can find some pictures of them. Smiling Critters. Yeah, this is them. They're just like the smiling version. And then you have the Nightmare, where the Nightmare Critters look fucking horrifying. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious when they started selling these. I guess we're gonna find out.
Former members of the Young Geniuses program that Elliot had started decades ago. These people trained under Elliot. They were geniuses from a young age, and most of them had quite impressive careers. If anyone was going to be able to come up with an idea to save this company, it would be one of them. Sometime later, Jared arrives with a list, and when it lands on Leith's desk, there is one option that immediately catches his eye. Harley Sawyer.
Oh boys, I'm back!
This guy was now certified by the American Board of Neurological Surgery. He was, by all accounts, a genius. And with Elliot using biological parts to make Poppy, a surgeon felt like the perfect fit. Leith presents this idea to Elliot for final approval. And while Elliot is hesitant at first, he does remember that Harley was the brightest of the bunch back in the day. And maybe all these years away have taught him the lessons he was hoping he'd learn. Do it. With that approval, Leith reaches out to Harley on January 15th, 1990, giving him an offer to come and join Playtime Co. once again. And strangely, despite the hurt Elliot caused him all those years ago, for some reason, Harley accepts the offer. Immediately, he begins showing the level of promise they were hoping for from this recruit. He sees the problems at Playtime Co., the public outcry, the declining profits, and he came up with an idea that would fix everything.
Giant toys. We can increase our workforce and simultaneously decrease the number of lawsuits and people on our payroll if the people we have working aren't people. Put me in charge of it, and I will save this company.
Leith makes Harley head of special projects, and together they begin...
Who thought that was a good idea? There's no way I would hear that as...
hiring other scientists to help with the development of the Bigger Bodies Initiative. Some of them are fellow Young Genius alumni like Dr. Bruno White and Dr. Carmine McKay, but others are just young and eager biologists looking for their first big break, like the owner of the Orientation Notebook, PW. From here, the company begins their experiments. Harley takes the new scientists to observe and study the Poppy doll that he remembered being in the storage bay from his days in the Young Geniuses program. He told them to use her as the blueprint to bring toys to life.
I am the cause. Being able to exist as a doll, it has killed so many people.
Everyone works diligently to try and recreate the magic of this one Poppy doll. But after 814 experiments, it's clear that things aren't working with simple rats. They need to try something bigger. They need to repeat what Elliot did. They need to use children. Harley delivers the note to Elliot as one of his many updates on the program, but once again, Elliot is torn. Up until this point, these experiments weren't really all that bad. It was just a few hundred rats that suffered the consequences, but now he had a choice to make. He'd spent his life trying to bring joy to children, to give them a home, somewhere they could grow and overcome the odds. Harley still couldn't believe this soft old man. What is more important to you, these children or the business you spent decades building, which people rely on for their own families? Mortality is just a curse on humanity anyway. If we can figure this out, all these orphans who had suffered would never grow old or sick. They could live forever and keep bringing joy to other children for centuries to come. It was not an easy decision, but this...
I don't even know what to think, because that's a fucked up choice, but him saying that is fucked up. Like, that's... I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know.
From Harley does sway Elliot. With that permission in hand, the senior staff of Playtime Co. set about building the Game Station, a facility designed to test the orphans' physical and mental abilities, pairing them with a specific toy, and if they were deemed ready, taken away for conversion.
They come for games and never come back.
As part of this process, they utilize the red smoke that they made.
I'm speechless because it's like part of the reason why some or the kids did go there, from what I heard, I'm not sure if this is true or maybe they said it early and I didn't understand, but was because some of them had, like I said, this could just be rumors, but some of the kids did have like diseases and whatnot and things that would stop them from living a full life. So he's like, let's put them in toys. And he's like, but if we put them in toys, it's gonna put them at risk. So it's kind of like a fucked up situation regardless.
Catnap toy. Where previously poppy gels had failed, gas is a much more effective way of getting the mystical powers of the poppy flower that help bring Poppy to life into the
That shit look mad creepy.
of these orphans. They installed shower heads throughout the playcare to distribute the gas, but it wasn't the most effective solution. Kids could see them and what they were doing. They became wary of going to bed. An alternate solution would need to be found. However, they had other problems to deal with. Over the last few years, there had been one employee that had been causing Playtime Co. a lot of trouble. They weren't ruining their plans as such, they were just a bit of an administrative headache. That man was Rich Lovitz. Initially, he was working in the storage room and he seemed to be on board with the general Playtime mission, appreciating the good this company did for the orphans. Sadly though, Rich had a habit of losing his temper with management, and so he was demoted to the rejected toy room, which, as you might imagine, he took really well.
After years of being ignored, the company actually heard all my complaints. I guess my words must have really inspired them to take action, because the next day I got demoted down here to the freaking island of misfit toys!
Of course, Playtime Co. had to demote him again, putting him to work in construction in the caves beneath the factory. Down here, in relative solitude, he was able to recognize his shortcomings, and with the help of his new supervisor, began to improve, even to the point of getting promoted. At first, this seemed great for Playtime Co. A reformed employee. The system worked. That was until Rich continued being promoted and began learning what was really going on with the orphans. He cared for these kids. That was the one good thing he had going for him from the beginning, and so he begins flying off the handle once again. The problem was now he knew too much. He could actually cause a problem for Playtime Co. if he went to the authorities. They couldn't just fire him anymore. They needed to get rid of him. And with the Bigger Bodies initiative well underway, as well as Harley's requests for bigger subjects, they had an idea. They took Rich and used him as a guinea pig, turning him into the first semi-successful experiment 1006, which they dubbed the prototype. Not a toy as such, more a mix.
I mean, I fuck with it though. Like, I fuck with him being prototype. But who and where is Ludwig then? If Ludwig isn't prototype, see, y'all got me fucked up, because now y'all got me thinking.
Actually cause a problem for Playtime Co. if he went to the authorities. They couldn't just fire him anymore. They needed to get rid of him. And with the Bigger Bodies initiative well underway, as well as Harley's requests for bigger subjects, they had an idea. They took Rich and used him as a guinea pig, turning him into the first semi-successful experiment 1006, which they dubbed the prototype. Not a toy as such, more a mix of mechanical and biological parts. It lacked the ability to speak, but was able to mimic voices of others to communicate. Playtime Co. was finally seeing success and removing the problem at the same time. But Rich, now 1006, wouldn't forget what had been done to him, nor what they were doing to the orphans. He just needed to bide his time and wait for the right moment to strike. Playtime Co. continued their development of the Bigger Bodies, but they struggled to find.
It makes sense for Rich to be prototype. I don't know. This is crazy. Chapter 4 needs to drop ASAP, because I'm mad confused on who's who. Like, this is crazy.
Success they'd had with 1006, usually unable to reactivate their brains after surgery. That is when Harley decided to try something different. He decided to make the Bigger Body physically bigger, rather than just trying to match the size of the test subjects. It flew in the face of all logic, but he needed to try something, and the crazy part is, it worked. They created Experiment 1160, Boxy Boo, and this discovery opened up a new world of possibilities for the future. At this point, several orphans are showing promise in the game station, although there was one that caught Harley's attention specifically, Quinn Navidson. He was a pretty average kid, except he had a strange obsession with
Isn't this the one that they turned into catnap? I think.
the heads off of all of his toys. However, Harley didn't see this disposition as a weakness. It was something he could take advantage of, manipulate to get his scores higher and make him a more successful big.
Yeah, y'all couldn't convince you that Harley's not the robot that we saw at the most previous trailer for Chapter 4.
Body down the road. Harley spends some one-on-one time with Quinn, convincing him that he understands Quinn better than most, and asking him to just simply apply himself at the next assessment.
Oh, wait, no. This is not catnap. This is Yarnaby. Yarnaby, right? This is Yarnaby. I think this is Yarnaby.
Next time, Quinn's scores did improve in most areas, although his intelligence seemed to wane a bit, but not enough to stop the inevitable. In August 1990, Quinn became Experiment 1166, Yarnaby. He was strong, agile, swift, but his intelligence still wasn't where Harley wanted it. He saw him more like a dog, which, while not ideal, could be useful for protection. The more Bigger Bodies they made, the more things there were that could kill him and stop his progress. So Harley isolated Yarnaby, making Yarnaby loyal.
Wouldn't that same thing apply to Elliot, though? Because if they're both creating monsters, essentially, that could eventually turn on them at any point, they will both need, like, a little army or some toys that's loyal to them. No?
Swift, but his intelligence.
Where's Elliot? Like, they're not mentioning Elliot, where he's at, who he is, unless they're trying to imply that Elliot is the new villain that they keep on teasing. Doughy the Dough Man.
Still wasn't where Harley wanted it. He saw.
So why would Elliot be working with Ludwig? I mean, why would Ludwig be working with Harley? I mean, then again, they making him to seem like a villain in this theory now.
More like a dog, which, while not ideal, could be useful for protection. The more Bigger Bodies they made, the more things there were that could kill him and stop his progress. So Harley isolated Yarnaby, making Yarnaby loyal only to him. Around that same time, another orphan named Theodore Bramwell began
This is catnap.
some mischief in the playcare, breaking into rooms, stealing files, even stealing a grab pack. When questioned about it, he just said it was his friend that told him to do those things. The staff just assume this friend is of the imaginary persuasion, but in reality, it was very, very real. 1006 had found a way out of containment and was using Theo to help them escape. Once it had all the information, 1006 made a break for it, though due to Theo's inexperience, he accidentally overcharges the electrified grab pack hand and electrocutes himself. At this moment, 1006 has a choice. Gain the freedom it wants or save Theo. It chooses the latter. It gives Theo over to the Playtime Co. scientists and turns itself in to be locked away once again. Now, there is only one way the scientists are able to save Theo, and on November 11th, 1990, the bigger body catnap was born. Experiment 1188. He was put into the playcare because he was able to...
Y'all confusing me now. So everybody just know how to put human bodies and brains into toys now? I thought only Harley Sawyer know how to do that.
At this moment, 1006 has a choice. Gain the freedom it wants or save Theo. It chooses the latter. It gives Theo over to the Playtime Co. scientists and turns itself in to be locked away.
That doesn't make sense, because I thought they didn't like Prototype. I thought they didn't get along with Prototype. So why would they just take his... I don't know.
Once again. Now, there is only one way the scientists are able to save Theo, and on November 11th, 1990, the bigger body catnap was born. Experiment 1188. He was put into the playcare because he was able to release the red gas just like the toy, and the kids would, hopefully, be much less suspicious of this big friendly toy than a typical showerhead. Again, Playtime Co. was killing two birds with...
Nah, them kids are stupid. Did they not see how big this cat was? This cat was probably like 12 feet tall. If I see a big ass cat, 12 feet, purple, black, don't care what color it is, I'm out. It's like
toy. And the kids would, hopefully, be much less suspicious of this big friendly toy than a typical showerhead. Again, Playtime Co. was killing two birds with one stone. The Bigger Bodies initiative was now in full swing. Between Catnap and Yarnaby, Huggy was created, and in 1991, he was put to work as Playtime Co.'s new security measure. Though his wandering eyes were noticed by an employee who wasn't supposed to know anything. Rowan Stoll. Rowan wanted to get to the bottom of what was going on, and over the course of a few months, began to figure out exactly what Playtime Co. was doing. When he threatened to leak what he'd found to the public, Harley put his Bigger Bodies to good use.
Now, we need to start tailoring that appetite of yours to lunch. Get me an update on the situation, also.
That same year, another orphan, Marie Payne, began suffering from unwakeable nightmares thanks to catnap's gas, leading to the latest experiment we know of to date. Experiment 1222, Mummy Longlegs. She was violent towards the staff, but kind towards the kids, making her the perfect guardian for the game station. And by May of 1992, the game station is in its heyday. Everything is working as planned. But one person is still causing problems. Elliot Ludwig had put a picture up in his office that one of the kids had given him of the game station and Mummy Longlegs. But when he sat there and looked at it, those decisions that had led to this point, they began to weigh heavy on his shoulders. He still felt that Harley's pursuit of innovation for the sake of it wasn't right, but the rest of the senior team seemed to be all for him, and it was hard to deny that the company was seeing success. Regardless, he knew he needed to put some kind of safety measure in place, something to keep Harley in check, just in case his worst fears came true. So he promoted one of the fellow scientists and Young Geniuses graduate, Dr. Bruno White, to become Harley's superior. Once Harley found out, he could think this as nothing more than another betrayal from Elliot, and this time he'd had enough. Elliot was too soft to keep things moving forward. He needed to be got rid of, just like every other problem employee they'd faced. One day, both the staff and the public were informed that Elliot Ludwig had passed away, but Harley Sawyer was the only one who knew the truth about what happened. Thanks to Dr. White's promotion, Harley's involvement in things slowly became less and less, leading Harley to become more and more frustrated and driving him more and more insane, until one day he decided to take matters into his own hands. During a guided tour of the factory in 1993, fires break out in the theater, causing casualties all across the facility. Obviously, Leif Pierre...
Nah, he's sick. He's sick. Yo, Harley is sick. He is sick. He's sick.
Is furious. Now he has to clean up the mess, taking care of any potential casualties all across the facility. Obviously, Leif Pierre is furious. Now he has to clean up the mess, taking care of any potential witnesses. This is not the kind of publicity Playtime needed. He brings back their private investigator Jared to figure out who is to blame, and true to his word, he gets them an answer.
Dr. Harley Sawyer.
After spouting rhetoric about one bad day and being betrayed by Elliot all of those years ago, Harley had finally gone full Joker and set the theater up.
Yeah, nah, he's sick. I told you.
Baptizing everyone in the flames that he was working so hard to save them all from with his Bigger Bodies initiative. As Leith had suggested, Harley needed to be punished, but he can't justify the usual methods. Harley is an undeniable genius, and it would be a shame to lose such a brilliant mind when they definitely still needed him. The Bigger Bodies, while alive, were temperamental and hard to control. They needed to keep perfecting the process. This also meant turning Harley into a Bigger Body wasn't an option either, as he too would likely lose his mind. And that was when it hit them. Instead of turning Harley into a bigger body, why not turn Harley into a digital consciousness? They could focus all their attention on keeping his mind alive without the need for a working body. That way, Harley could still help them and guide the scientific process, but he couldn't physically cause any problems. It was perfect. By 1994, this plan is underway. The party line is that Harley is just out, maybe on a sabbatical or something. And in 1995, the new Playtime automated is up and running, ready to meet with scientists like PW. The system would end up being shut down after May of that year, but regardless, it was another success for Playtime Co. However, as we've seen time and time again...
Yeah, because it's easy to control a computer or a PC. All you gotta do is turn the off button. So whenever they need Harley, essentially, they just turn them back on.
The system would end up being shut down after May of that year, but regardless, it was another success for Playtime Co. However...
See, that's the thing that's confusing me. That people are theorizing that Poppy is slowly destroying Prototype, right? To make him weaker. So, whatever we want to call this thing. why would Poppy be on this thing's side? If this is the thing that supposedly killed her dad, why would she be on this thing's side? Wouldn't she want to be on Prototype's side at least? Because Prototype is at least helping the toys and whatnot. Unless there's a huge like 180 cliffhanger that none of us is expecting, which could be possible. I don't understand why she would be helping us. I mean, helping this thing. Because right now she's helping this thing. All the toys that we're destroying is the toys that essentially would be helping the Prototype. Huggy Wuggy, Catnap. This thing would not like that. Like it would very much appreciate if all those toys got destroyed, because then it would have more power. Him and Yarnaby. I don't know. This is crazy. These theories for this game is crazy.
Scientists like PW. The system would end up being shut down after May of that year, but regardless, it was another success for Playtime Co. However, as we've seen time and time again, pride cometh before the fall, and this next fall would be the biggest Playtime had ever seen. Behind the scenes, while Playtime Co. had been dealing with Harley, 1006 had been plotting. They'd been gathering all the toys together and promising them
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, why would Poppy want to destroy the toys that 1006 is putting together if she's supposed to be on that side? You know what I could be thinking? All of the gas from Catnap, maybe it turned her evil, it turned her crazy or something. I don't know.
They all wanted freedom. They formulated a plan to take back the factory from Playtime and kill all those who'd helped turn them into monsters. They called it the Hour of Joy, and on August 8th, 1995, they executed that plan. They attacked everyone, scientists.
Didn't they say all these toys were like relatively not smart? So how did they think of that plan?
Freedom. They formulated a plan to take back the factory from Playtime and kill all those who'd helped turn them into monsters. They called it the Hour of Joy, and on August 8th, 1995, they executed that plan. They attacked everyone, scientists, tour guides, construction workers. It didn't matter. They were all responsible. They all needed to die. The toys dragged...
Damn.
Scientists, tour guides, construction workers. It didn't matter. They were all responsible. They all...
What's these toys' name? Damn.
Needed to die.
I hated this toy. When we not for her, but went against Poppy Playtime 3.
Toys drag the bodies into the depths and slowly consume them to satiate their hunger. Only a small few managed to escape the carnage, Leaf Pierre being one of them. Despite the insane loss the company was facing, he kept insisting Playtime Co. continue their work. He began recruitment efforts for a resource extraction team, people that would go back into Playtime Co. and collect the parts they needed to keep making bigger bodies. But eventually, the rising pressure from the public over the mysterious disappearance of the staff, their friends and family, was too much for even Leaf to handle, and he shut down the factory for good. Nearly a decade passed, and the Playtime Co. factory, as well as all that happened there, had largely been forgotten. The world had simply moved on. But in 2002, deep in the bowels of the factory, something or someone was coming back.
To everybody that's tuned in, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all comment, like. Man, this is crazy. If y'all want to talk the TikTok stuff, we could talk that in a bit. This is crazy. I don't know what to believe with Poppy anymore. Like, this game and its story is just so wild.
Harley had awoken from his mysterious slumber. Ironically, just as he'd always stated, his conversion had actually saved him from...
Okay, from people that watched or played Poppy Playtime, does it not seem like that we powered him up? Because throughout Poppy Playtime 3, and even 1 and 2, what are we doing throughout all 3 of those games? Powering things up. We're powering things up. We're putting batteries in things. So it's like, why would Poppy trick us into powering up this thing? I don't understand it. The only other thing that maybe I could see is, I've seen one other person say this, is that she wants an all-out like war against Prototype and this thing. I keep on forgetting to give this thing a name, but I guess we could call it Harley Sawyer.
Unlike his former colleagues, he realized the opportunity he had. There was no one left to stop him. His plans could continue. He could save the rest of humanity from their mortal coil and convert them all into living, eternal toys. So he began hacking into the rest of Playtime Co.'s systems, taking control of all communications that were coming in and out of the factory. His plan would come to fruition. At the same time, the bigger bodies also remained in the factory, waiting for the Prototype to save them as promised, but food supplies were running short. Some of them began to lose their faith that salvation would ever come. Dog Day was one such toy, and 1006 quickly made an example of him. This type of threat, however, wouldn't work forever. 1006 knew that. It needed to make progress. It was still trying to create...
Wait, what?
Quickly made an example of him. This type of threat, however, wouldn't work forever. 10 systems, taking control of all communications that were coming in and out of the factory. His plan would come to fruition. At the same time, the bigger bodies also remained in the factory, waiting for the Prototype to save them as promised, but food supplies were running short. Some of them began to lose their... that salvation would ever come. Dog Day was one such toy, and 1006 quickly made an example of him.
Oh. Okay, so if you don't know this red light up here, that means that it's a theory. It's not confirmed. I was about to say, because I didn't think Prototype would be the type to torture toys unless they asked for it.
Some of them began to lose their faith that salvation would ever come. Dog Day was one such toy, and 1006 quickly made an example of him. This type of threat, however, wouldn't work forever. 1006 knew that. It needed to make progress. It was still trying to create its perfect body, but it just didn't have the know-how. Rich was just a simple construction worker. Sure, he could do some cool things with tech, but biology was a whole other ballgame. It needed help. So in 2005, it writes a note saying that the employees that went missing were actually still in the factory, waiting to be rescued. And it sends it to the only person that's not only around to hear it, but would actually care.
Us, the character.
To make the trip, the player character, PW. PW didn't show up for work on August 8th, 1995. They were still alive, and more importantly, they actually cared about their fellow employees. If there was a chance their colleagues were still around, they needed to help them. Now, as a former employee, they knew their way around the factory. They knew where this flower was that they'd been pointed to. They just had to get there, while also trying to avoid an unpleasant reunion with one of the many bigger bodies they'd helped create. Huggy Wuggy. PW finds Poppy behind the flower, in the same room she always was. Although there are now messages around the room warning them not to trust her. Regardless, once they open the case, Poppy agrees to help PW.
Yo, there's not a single game that you play of Poppy that tells you to trust her, or that she gives trustworthy vibes. In every single game, 1, 2, and 3, she has showed some sort of like snake-like behavior or don't trust me behavior.
See, she's not that bad at all. Only Mummy then shows up and kidnaps Poppy. After beating all of Mummy's games, PW returns to Poppy and takes her to the train, only for Poppy to now change her mind and stop PW from leaving.
I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. She was always on some like messed up stuff.
Did you leave?
They really should have trusted the signs. The train crashes in front of the playcare, and with some surprising help from Poppy, Kissy Missy, and their ally Ollie, who may or may not be the prototype mimicking a child's voice to trick us, PW makes their way through the playcare. Together, they defeat
Oh, I think it all just came together. No, that still don't make sense though. Okay, so the theory that I was thinking, right?
I can't let you leave.
They really should have
I'm
trusted
gonna
the
say it after this. The theory that I was thinking.
The train crashes in front of the playcare, and with some surprising help from Poppy, Kissy Missy, and their ally Ollie, who may or may not be the prototype mimicking a child's voice.
See, right? Ollie is working together with Mommy Longlegs. I said Mommy Longlegs. Kissy Missy and Poppy, right? So Poppy, to a degree, is being told what to do from Ollie. But if Ollie is the prototype and Ollie cares about keeping the toys alive, why would Ollie and Poppy have us kill the toys? Oh, wait. I think I just got another theory. This might be the final theory. I don't know if this is actually going to be the story of the game, right? But look. If we kill, like, maybe it's like we got to kill 5 to save 10. Maybe Ollie or Prototype, maybe he's thinking, okay, let's kill a few toys. Let's kill Kissy Missy. Let's kill Huggy Wuggy. Let's kill Catnap. I'm going to make them all a part of my body to make me stronger. And then I'm going to use it to take out the other dude that's evil. Take out Harley Sawyer. Because Harley's trying to, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to turn everybody into toys. He's trying to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, maybe it's that. It's like, yo, we take out a few toys, but we're going to save everybody else. But the thing is, why would he have us do that? Can he not do that himself? Like, how much of a body is he? Is he just the arm right now? Or is he arm, legs? Or is he... I mean, I guess we'll find out soon, hopefully.
PW makes their way through the playcare. Together, they defeat Catnap and begin the long trip down into Playtime's prison. But Kissy doesn't make the trip. She is killed by something on their way down. And all of this time, Harley has been watching through the security cameras, making his way down to the prison just a bit ahead of them to reunite with Yarnaby and lay whatever traps he has in store for us down in the depths, along with the nightmare critters, Pianosaurus, and a toy made from Play-Doh, Doughy the Dough Man. And that, loyal theorists, is the entire timeline of Poppy Playtime so far. Whoo, boy, this franchise is getting big. This is probably the last time I'll be able to do an entire timeline in one video. I mean, look at that runtime. No, I have to say, it is refreshing that outside of a few bits of connective tissue, most of what we've talked about today are either things Mob has told us directly, or we have a lot of evidence to support. The only real details that are super speculative are things like when the Young Geniuses program started, or why Elliot agreed to start using children in the experiments. We said that the Young Geniuses program started in the 60s, but it could very well be the 50s based on the logo. Maybe they were even the ones that helped make the first Poppy dolls. But so long as Harley joins the company early, leaves, and then comes back to cause a bunch of problems, it doesn't really matter which decade it takes place. The same thing goes for Elliot's change of heart towards the orphans. We've got no evidence saying why he made this.
Yeah, that's the main thing that I'm wondering. Like, why did he change?
He did. We may discover his reasoning in the future. It's just not going to change the order of events because we have set dates of when things have to happen. But there you have it, friends. Everything you could possibly need to know going into Chapter 4. And I don't know about you, but now I'm even more excited to see where all this goes. Who will our allies be? What is Harley's big plan? Will I have to rethink the identity of the prototype for a third time? I'm sure all will be revealed in a few weeks. In the meantime, remember, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
Holy shit. This is something.
More excited to see where all this goes. Who will our allies be? What is Harley's big plan? Will I have to rethink the identity of the prototype for a third time? I'm sure all will be revealed in a few weeks. In the meantime, remember, that's just a theory.
Nightmare Critters, in my opinion, we can definitely rule out Nightmare Critters as being our allies. Any one of these little fuckers. For multiple reasons, they're too bloodthirsty. We could even get the Smiling Critters to be on our side. Not saying we try to, but if they wouldn't be on our side, the more evil demonic versions definitely wouldn't be. If anybody's going to be on our side, I highly think it's going to be Pianosaurus for multiple reasons. Yarnaby, I guess I could see it disobeying Harley, but not really. Not really. What else? What else? Allies. Supposedly we already have Kissy Missy as an ally, supposedly. I don't know who would else be like allies, because they said allies with an S, unless they're already counting the allies that we have. I don't know. That part's confusing. Who else would speak on a TikTok ban? Let's see. 20-minute video. TikTok ban, uproar, social media TikTokers, quote unquote, get a real job. I just want to find somebody that like quickly talks on this. We are beating YouTube tonight and TikTok ban. Let's see. Let's see what this is. Beating YouTube? What the hell is he talking about? What is that? Figure it out. Yeah, I don't know. Regardless, if TikTok gets banned, like I said, if you're a smarter content creator or you're an upcoming content creator, I always tell people use multiple apps. We've seen multiple apps come and go, whether it was Mixer. Some of you probably don't even know what that is. If you do, shout out to you. Vine, now soon to be TikTok. Post your content everywhere. Do not just rely off of one social media platform. These platforms are not loyal to you. They will kick you off at any moment if you say something wrong, do something wrong. Build up your following everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. If, let's just say, God forbid, if YouTube kicks you off, hopefully you got a good, sustainable follower account or following on Instagram, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Reddit, on Discord. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you always have a place to go. Like, you're not stuck like, shit, this is my bread and butter. I'm pretty sure y'all heard the term, don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's as simple as that. But, yeah, I'm ending the live here. I just wanted to do this live. Talk about some Poppy Playtime theories. Talk about this TikTok ban. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all tune into those Ghost of Tsushima videos. Those will be getting uploaded for the next few days. And after that, we're going to be going to a fan favorite, because it seems like y'all love this game on my channel. We're going back to this. The new one comes out January 30th. I'm not going to lie. I might live stream that day if the internet don't bug out. But I'm just letting y'all know that's probably going to be a 9 to like, let me not say 9. That's probably going to be like a 7 to 12 hour live stream. Because it took me around 11 hours to beat Chapter 3, and supposedly Chapter 4 is supposed to be longer. So, I mean, hopefully chat will help me. Hopefully they'll help me solve some of the puzzles and whatnot. But just expect a pretty long live stream that day, January 30th, or the day after. Because I don't know if I'll play it exactly the first day, depending on my schedule. But, yeah. New Chapter 4 hit. Is this an actual video? Or is this like cap? Nah, I think this is cap. Hold on.
To Poppy Playtime Chapter 4, and we recently got so much new info regarding the game, and we just got confirmation of a brand new secret Chapter 4 character. And if you know anything about this game's rollout, you'll know that this is the most stacked game we've had character-wise. Compared to the first 3 games, this one has way more monsters we're gonna have to defeat, so another new character on top of that was pretty unexpected. And we also may have just figured out the exact release date for the next Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 trailer, and I'll be going over new merch drops and a lot more, so you're gonna wanna stay tuned. So first, we're gonna start off with the brand new Chapter 4 character, because I'm pretty sure that's what you guys clicked on this video for, and that's what I think you guys are most interested in. So a different Poppy Playtime YouTuber named Tibbers did an interview with one of the ex-employees at Mob Entertainment. They worked on the first 3 games, but after the 3rd game, they kind of left the company. But they did do a little bit of work on Chapter 4, more specifically, some of the characters. But instead of me just explaining what they said, I'm gonna play a quick clip from the interview and then talk about it after.
So you might not be able to answer this, but Chapter 4 is coming up fast. I'm curious as to what involvement you might have with this upcoming chapter.
I could say what I can. I was already involved in like Chapter 4 concepting, like concept art, and I was actually the 2D art lead for Chapter 3 and kind of going into the beginning of Chapter 4 as well. So I was a part of the concepting process, a little bit of it, specifically one character in particular, but they have not shown up yet as of now, so I cannot name drop. But other than
So in the interview, she said,
that character could have been removed. That's not good evidence. That character could have been removed.
character that hasn't been revealed yet that she worked on in Chapter 4's development. Now, I do have a couple pretty good theories on who this character could be that she's talking about, but before I go over those, we have to figure out when this interview was filmed, because she could just be talking about the Doctor, and this interview was filmed over a month ago. Because a month ago, we didn't have the Doctor trailer yet, so we didn't know who he was. So technically, the Doctor was an unrevealed character during that time, and they don't really say in the interview or the description when it was filmed, but I'm sure it was filmed way before a month ago. And if we actually go on to Tibbers' Twitter, the first time he talked about this interview was January 6th, and that's only 2 days before it came out. So I'm sure that he wouldn't film an interview and then upload it over a month later. So then who is she talking about in this clip? Well, here's my first theory, Doughy the Doughman. all the way back in the summer when the hype for Chapter 4 first was starting out. On a website called Trademarkia, we saw that Mob Entertainment copyrighted some names, and people theorized that these names were actually for Poppy Playtime, and they turned out to be right. Like one of them was the Nightmare Critters, and then we found out about them a couple months later. But there's still a couple names to this day that have been copyrighted but haven't been announced yet or shown. One of them being Doughy the Dough Man. And if we actually go back to the Thanksgiving drawing that Mob Entertainment made for the holiday, it looks pretty normal at first, but then if you look out the window, there's this weird hat character, and some people theorize that this is actually Doughy the Dough Man. And there was also another name copyrighted that I haven't really seen anyone talk about, and the name is Lil Av. There's also another one named Av's World, so this could be a spin-off game that Mob Entertainment is making. But there also is a possibility that this has nothing to do with Poppy Playtime, and it's just a different game that Mob Entertainment is working on, because we do know that they are working on more games not related to Poppy. But Doughy the Dough Man is pretty much 100% confirmed to be in Chapter 4, or just show up in the Poppy Playtime series at some point. And here's another reason why. If we go to the New Year's drawing that Mob Entertainment did, right next to Pianosaurus, under this green firework, there were these weird letters, and no one was really able to figure out what they meant. I even talked about them in my last video, but I think I know now what they could actually mean. If we look really close, we can see some letter that we can't really tell, and then an E and a Y. My guess is that this one here is an O.
No. Oh yeah, I do see that.
Now what they could actually mean. If we look really close, we can see some
key. Hey brother. Based off your assignment, I'm going to assume this is Kimberly. Maybe. Because there's a lot of keys in the world.
We can't really tell.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Nobody picked this up, but this is definitely a D. That says Doughy the Dough Man. Like that, it's literally in your face. Doughy the Dough Man. Has nobody else picked this up? D-O-E-Y. Doughy.
Able to figure out what they meant. I even talked about them in my last video, but I think I know now what they could actually mean. If we look really close, we can see some letter that we can't really tell, and then an E and a Y. My guess.
No, that's a O. And right before this, there's a D.
In my last video, but I think I know now what they could actually mean. If we look really close, we can see some letter that we can't really tell, and then an E and a Y.
How has nobody else been able to pick that up? That's clearly Doughy the Dough Man.
My guess is that this one here is an O, spelling out O-E-Y, and the word
yeah, Doughy
has those exact letters in the word, but for whatever reason, there's no D. Maybe this was supposed to be
no, there's a D. What the bro? Let me not trip out. This is
written subtle hint. Maybe that's why they only included 3 letters. And my final piece of evidence for Doughy the Dough Man is this Poppy Playtime Christmas photo that Mob Entertainment made. And I'm pretty sure you guys already know what I'm about to say. But if we look out the window, we can see a character in Santa's sleigh, and we have not seen this character yet until this image. And you at first just might be thinking, oh, that's supposed to be Santa Claus. But then if we go back in the house, we can see that obviously Huggy Wuggy is supposed to be Santa. That's why he has the hat and the beard and the gift sack. So this could
not only that. Mob Entertainment, the people that made Poppy Playtime, they do not promote nobody else's brand, character. They don't promote nobody's stuff that's not this. Santa is not this. You said TikTok is banned already? Are we in the same time zone? I don't think it's banned for me yet. I mean, I don't have the app on this phone. I'll have to check on my other phone, but from what I've seen, they were only giving warnings.
Outline for Doughy the Dough Man, but we don't really know yet. And just a little side note I forgot to bring up when I first talked about this image. If we look over at the fireplace, we can actually see the smoke is making the outline of the number 8. I haven't seen anyone else talk about this, and I didn't even talk about it in my video going over this image. Now, this could just be a coincidence, but knowing Mob Entertainment, almost everything they do is on purpose. If you guys have any guess for what the number 8 could mean, let me know in the comments. And now my second theory on...
How many letters is Dough Man? D. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yo, I'm telling you, I figured it out, man. I don't care what nobody else say. I figured it out.
We'll be talking about here is this clown character from the Chapter 4 ARG. This character technically was revealed through this photo, but this is the only really thing we have of this character. We don't even know his name, or what he could actually do, or what his powers are. So this could be the actual character that she was talking about that she worked on in Chapter 4's development. But then there's also the theory that this character is Doughy the Dough Man, and it's not even supposed to be a clown. But that's a theory for a whole different day. And now the next thing I want to talk about in this video is actually one of the Poppy Playtime devs made a very interesting tweet the other day, giving us a pretty big hint for Chapter 4 and its lore and story. It's a pretty small thing, but there's a connection between the Doctor trailer and the ARG that I'm surprised I haven't seen anybody make yet. So apparently in the Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 Doctor trailer they released a couple weeks.
What time is it where you're at? Where you said TikTok is banned already?
So in there's a connection to the Chapter 4 ARG, which no one has pointed out yet. So the hundreds, maybe even thousands of Poppy Playtime theory videos, no one has gotten this right. But then if you go into the replies to this tweet, someone had a really good theory that I want to talk about and give my opinion on. So here's what he said. Throughout the trailer and the text, you can see fire in the background, which of course refers to the theater incident. In addition, in one frame, you can see a red grab pack, which I theorize that Sawyer used to set the theater on fire. So something we learned about in the Chapter 4 ARG is something called the theater incident. We first saw the theater in phase 1 of Project Playtime. It was a map that you could actually play on, and it was an abandoned theater in the Playtime Code Factory. But then in the ARG, we found out that there was something called the theater incident. We then found out that this incident was a fire, and it was related to Harley Sawyer, and it was related because he's the one that actually started the fire. We're not really sure why he did it, but today we may have just figured out how. So in the Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 Doctor trailer, the trailer is centered around the person that made the theater incident happen. And at one point in the trailer, we see a red and blue grab pack, which we've never seen this in any of the Poppy Playtime games before. So people were guessing that this was going to be a new grab pack for Chapter 4. But the thing is, we've already had a red grab pack. This one just looks a lot different. The first red one was just in the first game, and it didn't really do anything. The second one was a flare gun that you could shoot fire at the smiling critters with. So this could actually be the same one we saw in Chapter 3. This red one was just in the
edited this photo? That should look horrifying.
Anything. The second one, flare gun.
There's got to be a mod or something. Catnap looks horrifying.
Shoot fire.
I mean, he already looked horrifying, but
critters with. So this could actually be the same one we saw in Chapter 3, the flare gun one, and that's how Harley Sawyer actually started the fire in the first place. Like Anthony said in the tweet, it's not a huge connection, but it's pretty interesting and it gives us another puzzle piece to add towards the lore. But now I'm going to talk about the brand new Yarnaby plush that was officially revealed today, and some new Yarnaby t-shirts, which I'm pretty sure those might have an actual hint at Chapter 4. But anyways, earlier this week, Mom Entertainment on Twitter said Yarnaby is ready to pounce. Sign up now to be the first to know when the Yarnaby plush goes live later this week. And then yesterday they said, Knit's almost time, he's coming tomorrow, and both of these tweets had some pretty cool photos attached to them, showing off Yarnaby, and I really hope that they do something like this in Chapter 4. We have heard a lot about Chapter 4 being the darkest game in the series, but I really hope that the game itself is just scary. But then today, Mom Entertainment said, not.
That's partially the reason why it took me so long to complete Chapter 3, because how dark and scary it was. Don't make this one darker and scarier. This is not Resident Evil.
The Yarnaby plush is here. Grab yours now and check out the brand new Yarnaby collection. And then if you go over to the link that they provided, you can see that the Yarnaby plush is officially out. The pretty crazy part though is that this one plush is $45, but we can also see some brand new Yarnaby t-shirts on that same website. And this one shows off Yarnaby's claw, and the design is that he's clawing through the t-shirt. The shirt itself is pretty cool, but here's what I think it means for Chapter 4. In the Yarnaby trailer and the teasers we've gotten for him, there hasn't really been any emphasis on his claws, and I really do think that that will be a major part in Chapter 4. Maybe in Chapter 4, if you get caught by him, the death animation will be him clawing you to death. But anyways, in the very beginning of this video, I talked about some brand new trailer updates. For the end of this video, I'm going to be trying to pinpoint the exact day that the next Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 trailer could come out. So first of all, we've had a bunch of Chapter 4 trailers by this point, but we haven't seen any gameplay from the game, which is very odd because it comes out in less than 2 weeks.
We usually get the gameplay like days before the game comes out.
And by now we should have at least one gameplay trailer. So when exactly is it going to come out? Well, with Mom Entertainment's past couple trailers, they've released them all on Saturdays, like the Yarnaby one, the Doctor one, and the Pianosaurus one. The only exception was our first teaser trailer for Chapter 4, which was on September 30th, which was a Monday. But I think they realized that Saturday trailers tend to do a lot better on YouTube. So we can expect a Saturday, but which one? So the 2 days are January 18th and
I mean, clearly it's
February 25th. The 18th is tomorrow or today, it depends on whenever you're watching this. So it could just be a surprise and the trailer's actually coming out tomorrow. But I feel like they'll at least give us a little hint the day before or a couple days before. So I think we can rule out tomorrow. So I think the best day for them to release this trailer is on January 25th, meaning next week. And this does seem like this is the last trailer we're getting before the game comes out, so I'm sure it will actually reveal a lot. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. I really hope you guys are going to enjoy. Let me know in the comments when you guys think the Chapter 4 is gonna come out, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Goodbye.
I would agree. I definitely think after the 21st. But yeah, I'm end the stream here. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. That's commenting and whatnot. I definitely think Dowie. I don't know if I believe he's the main villain. I still think Harley Sawyer is the main villain. I think Dowie's just gonna be like a significant side character. But that's kind of weird, right? Because how many significant side characters as villains do we need? It seems like Yarnaby is gonna be one. It seems like Baba Chops might be one of the main ones. But didn't one of the devs say like you're silly for thinking that? Like he's just a nightmare critter? So maybe Baba Chops is just like a placeholder for the, because remember he was like the marketed mascot for Chapter 4 at first. Maybe it was just like a placeholder. Maybe it was nothing serious and people just took it way out of proportion. And maybe Yarnaby and Harley is so far the only like major villains that we need to worry about. But Dowie the Dough Man, I think it's pretty obvious he's coming. Shout out to this guy. His channel name is Copper. Y'all go hit that like button. Y'all go show him some love. But, jeez, man. Like I said, we just reacted to some Poppy Playtime theories before this. I do think, I don't know, I'm confused. Like, this game can go so many different directions. Like, another theory mentioned Rich being prototype, which I can definitely see. I don't know. I don't want to keep it going down this rabbit hole. It's too much to think about. Too many different theories. Too many different, like, one thing that I will say, once again, that Mob Entertainment has done successfully, they put us in a position where no matter which way the story goes, it's a win-win-win-win-win-win. If this guy's the main villain, who's going to be upset? Not me. If Harley's the main villain, who's going to be upset? Not me. If Yarnaby ends up turning and killing Harley, who's going to be upset? Not me. If Prototype is actually the main villain and we've been fooled to think that Harley was the main villain, who's going to be upset? Not me. If Poppy purposely is trying to help Harley so Prototype and them could battle it forth and kill each other and she ends up being the main villain, who's going to be upset? Not me. And I don't think most of the fans will be upset either. So they put themselves in a win-win-win position. There's not many, like, can y'all name 2 to 3 ways that y'all think this story can go left? And y'all be like, nah, I ain't rocking with that. Like, I don't think there's going to be many. I don't think there's any. Like, I can't think of any that's going to be like, whoa, that's a terrible way to end Chapter 4. Or I don't think so. Like, they've set themselves up in a really, really good way. Really good way.